We live up in this mud. I mean, getting this etheric mineral. I mean, son, we out here getting this sun, getting this vibe, bruh. Out here in the damn park doing the walkabout. We're on a walkabout right now, taking advantage of this corona joint, man. I need to be capitalizing on this coronavirus, man. Don't be in the house. Get outside, get them colds, man. Drink your water, get your minerals, eat your greens. You know what I mean? This is what it is right now. This is the shift. This is the motherfucking shift. It's the 2012 shift. 2012 shift they've been talking about.
Do you have any light color shorts? I mean, I
That's
know you
what
wore
it
light color
is.
shorts the other day, but not that one. I feel like that's too short. Like, if you're gonna have your best knock, you can have like either something longer on or
It's that 2012 shift. Man, I must have walked about 15 miles yesterday, bro. Hold up. My feet was swole. Legs swole. I ain't taking no days off, man. We out here. See, they all be out here at the park, cuz. Getting they jogging and they riding on, they walking on. Man, you amongst the trees, so the air ain't as polluted as running in the street with a whole bunch of cars. You know, it ain't no cars like that out here. You might see one or two cars. You know, they clean up they do the landscaping. And the only kind of cars you see here is landscaping, or you might see a police car parked. Other than that, you ain't seeing no cars. So the air over here is better. The air over here is better than, being outside and all that. Should I say the energy? Straight cheese. What's going on out there in the YouTube world? How that corona treating you out there? Pardon.
like impressed, but like.
Been going in on these herbs, bruh.
Yeah, I think they were using that like.
This herb book. Copping herbs, experimenting with herbs. I mean, it's having herbs that target certain organs, getting that clean. That's something that I was never doing. You know what I'm saying? Getting herbs. I was doing it with the the little colon cleanse and the little liver cleanse and all that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, man, what up with the heart and the brain, son? What up with the lymphatic system? You know what I mean? What up with the thyroid gland? What's up with these joints? They got some herbs for these joints. You know, I got this book. I got thousands of herbs up in this, son. You know, I'm like, man, they got herbs for everything, son. So, you know, I went on a copping spree, son. Yo, no lie, I spent like $1,000 on herbs, man. No lie. So when you get in the herbs, you gotta get the wild organic joints. Them joints be pricey. You get in the big bags. You know what I mean? Spent like $1,000 on herbs, bro. Mad herbs. That joint look like a damn freaking so-called medical facility right now, son. So many herbs up in this, and I'm busting these teas down. Got me some glass pots. You know what I mean? Busting my teas down in the morning and all that. All day I'll be busting them teas down. Hurry it up, son. It's getting clean out. You know, most people think you gotta clean out at a certain time, certain month, certain day. That joint gotta be every day, bruh. When I say clean, I don't mean like no laxative clean. I mean like you gotta constantly be eating certain foods and drinking certain teas that, you know what I'm saying, aid getting rid of toxins. Because you intake toxins every freaking day. You know what I mean? Every day it gotta be a lifestyle. Gotta be a lifestyle, son. The herbal route is a lifestyle. It ain't no hobby. You know, but they train people to take care of themselves on a hobby. Do it when they feel like it. You know, feeling like it is when you're feeling some pain. I'm feeling some pain, so I need to do something right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling like it. But it's a lifestyle. You got to be doing that every day. Every day, B. You got to be drinking teas every day. You got to be drinking water every day. You got to be taking herbs every day. You know what I mean? So the body could be running on solar performance. The hell with optimal performance on solar performance. You already know what we about. We're about them ethers. Straight up. Somebody had asked me a question, man. What's that question about? I'm trying to think what the hell it was. Yo, yesterday I was out here because, you know, it rained the other day. And they had like a big puddle. It had like a big puddle like in the grass. Like it had like a hole. And it had like this big ass puddle. Yo, man, these freaking humans. Yeah, they had their little kids up in that. Oh, you almost smacked it. Y'all almost caught that. They had these humans with their kids, bro. All in the water and all that. It's crazy, bro. Like, yo. I mean, dirty ass water, bro. They had them bathing in that joint like a bunch of animals. Like it was a swimming pool or something. What's that question about, man? Oh, yeah, somebody had asked me, because a video I had did speaking about energy. You know what I mean? And it's like, I started thinking about this energy, son. Like I start, cause you know, like I stated before, man, it's a bunch of wagons that I want, son. You know what I mean? These things gotta come in my head, and I gotta like really analyze it. If it makes sense. See, you got the cop car chilling in the cut. You know what I mean? If it makes sense, I'm riding with it. If it ain't, I'm doing a barrel roll off that wagon. I don't care how much kudos that wagon got. You know how fast it's going. I take my chances with the cuts and bruises and the pointing the fingers and the laughs. Don't worry about that. But yeah, talking about the energy, how they be like everything is energy, and I started like thinking about it, like what is the everything? Because you know that's, you know, I said that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? You know, speaking the language inside the box, but yo, we stepping out the box with this one right here. You about to screen energy. Cause I did the video speaking about can energy be created or destroyed? So you know, got a couple of questions, but the main question was like speaking about like energy. Cause I was like cause you know how they always say that energy can't be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Like energy just takes on another form. Like these scientists, a bunch of people, they running with that energy can't be created and it can't be destroyed. So basically they trying to say that it's eternal. And I already broke down what eternal is. You know, energy constantly turning in the loop, but it's artificial. You know what I'm saying? And so they always run with that theme. The energy can't be created or destroyed. And I did the video talking about, yes, energy can be created and destroyed because there's a such thing as artificial energy. You know what I mean? Like there's a such thing as artificial energy, like spirits and archons, they are created of artificial energy. You know what I'm saying? The real energy would be the soul. And those energies are created, period. You know what I mean? That's why you got to keep doing the rituals, which is I spoke about, is like sex to create or keep already created energy going. That's the purpose of the ritual. The purpose of the ritual is to keep artificial energy going or to create it. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you stop doing a ritual, the energy would phase out of existence. It would die. The energy would die. You know what I'm saying? It'll take a certain amount of time, but then the energy would cease to exist. So energy can be created and destroyed. So then, you know, I started thinking about like this whole energy, like, and power. You know what I mean? Like energy and power. Like what is power and what is energy? We already know what energy is. You know, as far as artificial energy, but what if energy itself is artificial and power is real? You know what I'm saying? What if all energy derives from power? You know, you're looking at power. And when the power get filters down, it now becomes energy. You know what I mean? Because you got all different types of energies. You know what I'm saying? But look at this dimension for example. You got all these different kinds of energies that exist in this realm. And when you're looking at all these different kind of energies that exist in this realm, for instance, you look at religion as a whole. It's made up of individual energies, whether that be Christianity or Islam or whatever. When you're looking at certain professions that people have, that's all made up of certain energies, certain perceptions that people have. That all have to do with certain energies that was created. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're looking at all these different energies that was created. They have it where you could hear about how a certain civilization used to exist, and they used to speak a certain language, which is energy. You know what I'm saying? You mold the energy to a specific tone, which is what language is. And they would be like, this civilization used to speak this such and such language, but now this language is no more. It's like it's lost. They would say that it's lost. No one speaks it no more. In other words, when you constantly speaking a language, you actually doing a ritual of keeping it alive. Like the language, all languages that we speak, as I stated before, all languages that we speak down here is artificial. It was all created. It deals with ultra low frequency telepathic communication. Don't think that mental telepathy is silent. There's no such thing as a silent language. Even if somebody's deaf and they're doing hand signals, it's not a silent language because it's all based in vibrations. So when you're looking at a language that anybody speaks, for instance, this language you're speaking right now, English, that's a form of telepathic communication. Your ears are antennas. You know what I'm saying? Telepathy has to do with sending a signal, and the communication, as far as telepathic communication, has to do with that signal being received on the other end. Now your ears is the receiver to pick up those kind of frequencies that your eyes can't pick up. Your eyes can't pick up those waves, but your ears can. And the waves that your eyes can pick up, your ears can't pick those up. So your senses is different antennas. Your sensory network is like different antennas that's fine-tuned for specific vibrations or specific languages. So when you're looking at this communication that we're using, it's all being done by how we mold energy. You take in what they tell you is air. You know what I'm saying? And you use that air to form the language. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need breath to speak. You have it where you could take a deep breath and keep talking till all the energy come out of your lungs, biological batteries, and then you would start seeing that your voice will start getting squeakier and squeakier, and before you know it, you can't even talk because you ran out of energy to mold. So when you using language, that's a form of you creating energy. You create energy all the time. But the scientists have to get you on a perception of energy can't be created nor destroyed. So that changes your whole outlook on what reality really is. But now that you know that energy can be created and destroyed, it takes you up out of that perception. Now you see things more clearer. Now it makes sense why they keep doing these rituals. Now you know why they keep doing it. Now you know why they keep doing these so-called police brutality or racism rituals. Now you know why the Black Panthers and the KKK exist. You know what I mean? They're doing rituals to keep that energy going, to keep that perception going. You know what I mean? But you can destroy that energy. You know what I mean? You ever know? I was watching this video the other day. Matter of fact, yesterday on Facebook, and they had these two brothers. They was walking through the street, and they had this human that was just following it, following them and recording them. And these dudes is like, yo, why you following us? So I'm like, yo, get out of here. Like, these cats was trying to ignore him. But it's like the human constantly following them and constantly saying these things to them that'll trigger them just so they could include themselves in the polarity so that they could keep going back and forth. That's what the human does. The human would do all types of outlandish and abnormal, what is really normal for them. But they will do abnormal things just to get your attention. You know what I mean? Just to get your attention, because that's how they feed. That's how they keep their spirit or that kind of energy alive. You know what I'm saying? Keep it alive. In fact, that whole thing about ignoring them, you even have to be careful about that. Don't ignore them. Now, I know when I say don't ignore them, people are going to be like, what the hell? Because that is a programmed sleeper. Because when you're ignoring something, you're thinking about it. When you are ignoring something, you are focusing on not giving it attention. And at that same time, you are giving it attention. Because your focus on not giving it attention is actually giving it attention. So you should not ignore anything, son. You got to be able to vibe on a frequency that it doesn't even exist. You see, when they tell you to ignore it, that is a subconscious programming for you to feed it without you even being aware. Because we've been trained to see ignoring as not paying attention. But focus on when you're ignoring things. Aren't you focusing on not giving it attention? And at that same time, you're giving it attention because you're concentrating on not paying attention to it. You know what I mean? Which all got to do with a perception. All got to do with perception. You got to go beyond perception. So the hell with ignoring. You got to go beyond ignoring. You got to be able to go beyond all the vibes. You know what I'm saying? That way you won't be feeding it. So, they trained us to see that way. But this dude walking around following these dudes just so that he could feed. That's what the humans do, son. They do it with everything that's based in society. Everything. Ignoring it is not making it go away. Ignoring it is keeping it here because you're still focusing on it. You're focusing on it with a different compartment of the brain. You know what I mean? You're still giving it energy. It's like you're giving it meditation energy when you ain't focusing on it. You're giving it a form of meditation energy when you're not focusing on it. A form of meditation energy when you're not focusing on it. So the power would be the real energy. See, there's a difference between power and energy, son. There's a difference between power and energy. You see how the human is just constantly trying to walk with me. You know what I mean? So I got to keep it moving. Doing too much right now. But the power would be the real, and the energy would be artificial. You know what I'm saying? Because when these people are talking about everything is energy, look at the things that they talking about that's energy. They talking about the things that was created. You know what I mean? They talking about the things that was created. Even though they might try to throw something in there that's real. You know what I mean? But the reality is, power was never created. The energy was. The false power. So there's a difference between the power and the energy. Power would be real. Coming from that etheric ball in the damn sky. Speaking the language when I say ball. You know what I mean? And the energy is what derived from the power. Get out this chaos right here. So hell yeah, there's a difference, son. You know what I mean? People create energies every day. It's artificial energy around us, man. Every day. A day. So we keeping it short with that. See what's going on in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Some other brothers keep trying to walk with a sinner. Had to make little man bust his ass real quick so he could get the hell away. Wait up. But yeah, there's a difference between, go check out that video I did, can energy be created nor destroyed? Hell yeah it can. Hell yeah. See, that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want the souls to know this, the real souls. Not these melanated demons pretending to be souls. You know what I mean? They don't want the real souls to know that you can destroy energy. Once you realize that you can destroy it, when you're vibing on that wave, everything changes. Reality opens up. You know what I'm saying? Spoke about how you could kill spirits and all that. That's something you could do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to do it. Ignoring them does not make it go away. That's an illusion. That's like a sleeper feed. That's like a feed you unaware of. Cause you know they even got movies out there, little ghost movies or whatever. You have these little kids who being haunted, and they be like, "Yo, if you just ignore it, it'll go away." Now, we could use a practical example by using modern times. You have it where people would ignore certain issues. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could have a certain health problem. They would know that they have a health problem based upon certain pains or whatever that's going on inside of the body, and they would ignore it. You know what I mean? They would ignore these things. Now, what's the outcome that happens when they ignore it? It gets worse. Why? Because when they're ignoring it, they actually feeding it. They're allowing that disease to harvest and feed up off them. You know what I mean? So ignoring is a form of a feed. You're feeding it when you're ignoring it because you're focusing on it. So you got to learn how to raise the vibe where it doesn't even exist. You got to see it as it is. You got to see it as it is.
Which for us becomes enormous.
I'm trying to get the hell away from this damn girl. Sound like this girl is all on my ass, bruh. How the hell you been walking and then all of a sudden you synchronize with my walk? Get the other way, B. You turn up the juice. Ain't no in hell, bruh. You walking at a pace that's supposed to be faster than mine, but then all of a sudden you right behind me. Chill, bruh. Humans always trying to feed, B. Turn it up a little quick. is, son. Power of the sun all day, all night. You know, power of the sun all day. That whole night is an illusion. I mean, I stated before, they ain't indigenous to this planet. That's an external influence. They got parts of the planet where it's always daytime. Be nighttime for like 6 months. Daytime for like 4 months. Constant stream of energy. Constant neglect of energy. And notice that the areas that don't have a lot of as far as the areas that ain't getting sun for like months, it's always mad cold. Showing you that the vibration of the energy is low there. That's something to think about. You know what I mean? Energy is extremely low. Become crystallized, what they call ice. The frequency of death. So there's a difference between the power and the energy. You know what I mean? The power will be real, and energy will just be different converted forms of that power. So you go out on a limb and say all energy is artificial. Real energy would be power. You know what I mean? The real. Trying to see what I'm doing, man. I'm out here in a walkabout. Yesterday I walked for about 5-6 hours, man. On an empty stomach. Bruh. On an empty stomach. Pushing the body to the limits. Speed walk. Yo, these people be jogging with that damn mask on their face, son. Killing themselves. Remember when I was walking with that joint on? It's like my lungs had to work harder. Had to work harder, son. When you think about it, man, that lungs backfire carbon dioxide. It backfired right back into your lungs, son. Every time you inhale, you're supposed to be taking in fresh air. You're gonna see probably about 5, 6 years from now, you're gonna have it where people be having like serious lung issues, all because of that mask. Just like when the Twin Towers got hit, they had it where the people that was working at ground zero, some of them was out there with masks, breathing apparatuses. Some of them had no masks. They was out there cleaning up that joint for a minute. You know what I mean? A few years later, those people died. Probably about 3 to 5 years later, those people that was working at ground zero, they all died. Had all this stuff up in their lungs. You know what I mean? Because that whole area was contaminated. So it's like you sitting up here constantly breathing from a damn mask all day. Constantly inhaling that. Especially if you ain't got a good diet. A real diet. Lifestyle diet. A couple years you're going to be effed up in the game. Spoke about how they're going to depopulate, and they was talking about the Illuminati going to get rid of, they said 5 million, 500 million, 5 billion, whatever number they said, how they're going to get rid of these people. And most people think that is going to happen with World War III or some war, as far as with military personnel, with tanks and guns and jets, aircraft carriers and all that. Hell no, it ain't gonna happen like that. It's gonna happen like what's happening now. It's gonna happen like how it happened with 9/11. You know what I'm saying? People working at ground zero, hundreds of thousands of people died. People that was constantly working in that area died. You know what I mean? In other words, they're going to do it by way of collateral damage. Collateral damage, they're going to do it. Why people don't have headphones, man? Nobody don't want to hear that beat. We're about to get this joint copyright strike, man. You know what I'm saying? What you got headphones for, man? You could be listening to your own joint beat. But shit, it's done on a collateral damage level. And the collateral damage is actually the main attack. The collateral damage would be the main attack. Don't look at the planes hitting the buildings as the main attack. You know what I mean? The collateral damage would be the main attack. The people that got caught up in the splash damage. People that's walking around with the mask right now. Collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? They the ones who are going to be effed up in the game a couple years from now. It's all based on the collateral damage. You're looking at all these viruses that's being created, that's based all on collateral damage. You know what I mean? The whole purpose of it is for it to exist. That's the purpose of these viruses, is to exist. So they know if the virus consistently existing, then that means it's constantly killing. You know what I'm saying? If the virus is consistently existing, then they know it is constantly killing.
Here we are.
You know what I mean? So that's how they taking them out. It's a cellular war, man. It's a war on your cells. Straight up. It's a war on your cells. It's a nano war. That's why they say it's a war that you can't even see. You can't see a cell.
Sorry, you put out for now I can hear you.
You know what I mean? The cells is extremely small. That's the war you can't see. You can't see what's going on inside your body. You can't see what your immune system is going through, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to escape this music, man. But yeah, the war that you can't see is the war that's going on inside your physical body. You know what I mean? It's the war that's going on inside your physical body. You can't see the cells. You don't know what your cells is going through. You know what I mean? You don't know how your cells is getting violated and beat up. These people don't use headphones no more, man. You see this joint that made by our past got a damn boom box. There needs to be laws against that shit, son. Word up, B. But yeah, the war is on the cells, man. Look at this, another one. The war is on the cells, B. They've been attacking the cells for a minute. You know what I mean? When you're looking at GMO foods, that's weapons. That is a weapon. Same way how I was talking about how nature, as far as the herbs and stuff, and you know how what the primitive people refer to as the gods, they stored technology. They stored cellular enhanced technology in the plants. They stored the tech in the plants, and it's coming from the sun. You know what I mean? That is technology you're looking at. When you're looking at these different plants, these herbs, that's technology. But when you're looking at the GMO foods, that will be artificial technology. You know what I mean? Artificial technology. Now that technology, the GMO foods, that technology was created to rewrite your cells, to damage it. Those are weapons. It's all created by an extension of the military. You know what I mean? All created by an extension of the military. And they created that to attack the cells. So that's how they would be getting rid of the so-called 5 billion or 500,000, whatever that number was. And they're gonna have it with no guns. They ain't gonna have it with no tanks, because you're gonna see that coming. You're gonna see a tank coming. You're gonna hear a gun go off. You're gonna hear missiles being dropped from the damn sky from a B-52 bomber. You're gonna see soldiers running up in your hood. You're gonna see that attack coming. But now, if they cloak the attack, in what you is food, and they tell you that this diet that you're eating is something that you need to eat because it's based on your culture, you're never going to see that attack. You're never going to see it, because you're looking at the food as if it's part of your culture, and you looking at it like, he's on this. Everybody eating this. How could this be a weapon? Those are the people who don't know. Those are the ones who believe. You know what I mean? Those are weapons. It's no different than when you go into an arsenal and you see they got M4s, M16s. You know what I mean? They got these lightweight machine guns. You got these handguns, 9mm. They got Desert Eagle 22s. They got the sniping rifles. You know what I mean? They got the rocket launchers, got grenades, C4s, plastic explosives. You're looking at all these different variations of weapons. It's the same thing when you go to the supermarket and you look at seedless watermelon, you're looking at carrots. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at all these different kinds of potatoes, you're looking at potato chips, Wise potato chips. And you go and you see Coca-Cola, Pepsi, ginger ale, seltzer water. You know what I mean? When you go and you're looking at something like Poland Springs water, that's all weapons. That's no different than you walking into an arsenal. You know what I mean? Straight up. Those are all different stages or representations of weaponry. Seedless oranges. You know what I mean? Tilapia fish. Fake insects. You know what I mean? Fake creatures. Those are all forms of weaponry. That's weapons you're looking at. Weapons of mass destruction. Don't think the only weapon of mass destruction is a bomb that has an explosive radius of 50 miles, where it could kill a mass amount of people in one strike. Look at a weapon of mass destruction. Seedless grapes. Look at a weapon of mass destruction as Poland Springs. A weapon of mass destruction, Coca-Cola. How many people die from drinking Coca-Cola, causing kidney stones, giving people diabetes, you know what I mean, rotting their liver up? How many people die from drinking Pepsi? How many people die from eating McDonald's? You know what I mean? Those are weapons of mass destruction. You know what I mean? When you hear about people dying from heart attacks, heart failures and strokes and stuff like that, that's all because those people have been consuming weapons of mass destruction. You know what I mean? They're consuming poison. Weaponry that has been encased in food or cloaked to appear to be like food. They made the weapon look and smell and sometimes even taste like food. You know, your senses is being hijacked. You looking at it saying, yo, it looks like an orange, it smells like an orange, and it tastes like an orange. So therefore, it gotta be an orange. It's like they say, if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, and quack like a duck, it's a duck. Hell no. That's not the case in the land of illusions. Throw that out the window. You know what I mean? Throw that out the window. Because they talking about the look like a duck, walk like a duck, and quack like a duck. But they not talking about the genetic structure of the duck. Where is the fourth wall? They only talking about the Trinity. You know, the look like a duck 1, walk like a duck 2, quack like a duck 3. What about the genetics? What about the molecular structure of it? That is the main blueprint you're supposed to be looking at. The hell about the surface and how it behaves. Because we in a cloak realm. But things cloak and mimic. You know what I mean? Things have the ability to cloak and mimic. They cloak like a shadow. They cloak like a shadow. You see how the shadow do everything you do? They cloak like that. You know what I mean? But you got to go into the integrity of the whatever it is that you are analyzing. For instance, you looking at the orange because it looking, smell, and taste like an orange, but the orange ain't got no goddamn seeds. You know what I mean? Ain't got no seeds in it. No seeds in the watermelons. No seeds in the grapes. They got corn and everything. It's another hybrid. You know what I mean? So you gotta, and that's only a program for superficial people, people who believe. Those are meant to rock those asleep who vibrate on feelings, who use feelings for everything. You know what I mean? When somebody only uses feelings for everything, their sensory network is damaged. That is a sign that their sensory network is damaged. You know what I mean? Straight up. There's damage. You got to be looking at, because you got to know when you analyzing things, you have to do a full thermal scan. You got to do an in-depth scan. You can't be like, well, because it looks like a duck, walk like a duck, and quack like a duck, then it's safe to say it's a freaking duck. Hell no. Let's go into the blueprint of the composition of the duck, so we can really see if it is a duck, because that's the only thing that is going to really prove if it's a duck. It looking like a duck is not proving that it's a duck. It quacks like a duck doesn't mean that it's a duck. It walking like a freaking duck. I see a bunch of bird ass cats that walk like ducks. Hey, they ain't ducks. And now just because they walk like a duck don't mean it's a duck. You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to determine if it's a duck is the genetics. You know what I mean? And if you go into the genetics and you see that it is based on some cloning, this ain't no freaking duck. Then you gotta start asking yourself, what the hell is a duck? You know what I mean? That's if the genetics is based off that. Then you gotta be like, well, I know if this say the genetics of a damn duck was all based on cloning, then you gotta be like, well, where the hell did this clone strand derive from? That's when you start the trailing, like how they say, follow the money trail, the paper trail. That's how you follow the paper trail. You start seeing where it derived from. And if it derived from somewhere, then that substance is artificial, or even if it's real, it's a clone. It was purposefully created to, hold on, a bunch of wind blowing. It was purposefully created to throw your senses off. Know what I mean? Throw the senses off, bro. Got the humans out there, animals. Animals that know how to unfold and fold a blanket. People be up like, yo, son, this dude be talking mad ish about humans. Yo, people are still under the notion that I got some kind of drama with humans. You know what I mean? If you still think like that, bruh, you lost. You lost, dude. People, they think that I'm mad at the humans or something. I ain't mad. I ain't mad or happy. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yo, son, that peppermint oil, son? Yo, get up on that essential oil, peppermint oil. You know what I mean? That peppermint oil is strong. Strong, bro. Strong. I can smell it from all the way here, son. Do it like this. No, I gotta keep walking, son. I gotta keep the adrenaline going, son.
I've seen so many bikes. Here in the park.
Put That much on your finger, son? Just dab it up in the nostrils. What? Yo, bruh. That joint opened everything up. It's like, yo. You can even rub it on your chest. You could put it on the back of your arm. This is what I do. I put it on the back of my arm, like on the back of my neck, like right where the medulla oblongata is. Put it there, and I follow the spinal. You can call it damn spinal. Follow the etheric antenna support. You know what I mean? What they call a spinal cord, an etheric antenna, synchronized with the pineal gland, also the etheric antenna. You know what I mean? You rub it on that, you're gonna send some things opening up, man. Word up. You're gonna send some things opening up. Yeah, that's the puddle right there I was talking about. Yesterday, son. Was it? Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday when I was walking back here, humans had their kids up in there bathing in the joint. Like a wild animal. Like they turned this park into a nature show, son. Hurry up, babe. A wild animal. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I was thinking today was Monday, son. Yeah, we're doing Sunday morning service right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But yeah, that's what it is, man. It's all about raising the vibe, bro. Getting that sun.
Bagay mas strong ko ito.
Getting that sun, bro. But yeah, that peppermint oil opens up everything, bro. It'll make your nose run, might make your eyes tear up. Definitely get mucus out of the chest and lungs. You know what I mean? You're breathing in dead skin every day, dust. All of that could generate mucus in the lungs. A lot of people got mucus in their lungs and they don't even know. A lot of people got thick mucus. I'm talking about mucus that has been sitting in the lungs for years. For years. You know what I mean? Especially if you ain't up on a healthy diet. Or I should say a real diet. If you ain't up on a real diet, you got mucus in your lungs. You got it. It's just thick. It's like stuck to the damn walls. It's like a hard plaque on the damn walls. You will realize what it is. You put that. You think you breathe freely now? You think that you breathe freely now? Get you some peppermint oil. Put it in your nostrils and take a deep breath. You're gonna be like, God damn, that's how we normally supposed to be breathing. Everything's supposed to be open like that normally, son. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be open like that normally. Straight up. You gotta be busting these things down every day. You know what I mean? To expel toxins and the mucus buildup and all that. You got people that got mucus in their heart, mucus in their eyes, mucus in their brain. And they think they healthy. You know what I mean? Tell them, let them drink some teas that target certain organs. They'll start seeing the toxins come out. It's like somebody who take a colon cleanse. You know what I mean? Like you could tell somebody who don't go to the bathroom 3 times a day. They be like, yo, you know, you got like feces that's in your body that been there for months. You know what I mean? You got feces in your body that been there for like 3-4 months. They would look at you and be like, man, you crazy. Hey, nah, I ain't like that. I'm like, yeah. Get this super colon cleanse right here. Bust down 2 cups of this. Drink a lot of water. And stay your ass in the crib. They'll be on that toilet for 3 days. Dookie out. You know what I mean? Dookie out, son. For 3 days. They would be amazed to see all of that waste come out of their body. The waste didn't come out of nowhere. It didn't come out of nowhere. It was all enlarged in the body. Now it's all out in the toilet. Now if you was to add up those 3 days of waste, that might be 20 pounds. That waste might weigh 20 pounds. You know what I mean? And you would look at it and be like, damn, all of that was inside me? Hell yeah.
Oh, we killed my sister.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why you did that.
You know what I mean? Don't sleep. Don't sleep, bro. You know what I mean? You got to keep it clean. You got to keep it on a solar performance, man. You know, the toxins should never feel, speaking of language, like your temple is permanent residence. Or I found a crib now. I'm about to just lamp up. Nah, bruh. You gotta let them know if they coming up in there, they on their way out immediately. Straight up, they on their way out immediately. Especially these obese people. Yo, this joint just shut off, bruh. Yo, this live just shut down. I think it's weird, bruh. Especially these obese people. They might be on the toilet for a year. For a year. Because that fat is really waste. That is waste. You know what I mean? You ever seen when these people be so obese, they gotta go to the hospital and get all that shit sucked out of them, son? And it goes into like some plastic bin that you can see what it look like. Waste. Go on YouTube and look at one of them videos. Go on YouTube and type in obese people getting fat taken out of them or some ish. You know what I mean? And see that they gotta come in there with a damn forklift, break down a wall, lift these people up, put them on a flatbed, take them to the hospital, you know what I mean? And put all these rods and tubes up in them and just be sucking all of the waste out of them, and the waste goes into like this bin. And you see what that look like, son. That's what's inside of these fat people, son. These people be talking about the big and sexy. There is no such thing as big and sexy. You sick.
Yo, get me across the street. Let me go.
You know what I mean? You sick. But you know, in this matrix, they advocate the sickness. You know what I mean? Because they got to keep that ritual going. They got to keep that fake energy going. So they advocate ritualistic behavior. They advocate the ongoing of creating artificial energy. When you see them advocating same sex and pedophilia and, you know what I'm saying, the drugs and the crimes and all this stuff that's going on in the Matrix, the police brutality, the racism, all this stuff that they got going on, the KKK, you know what I'm saying? All this so-called crooked stuff that they got going on, those are nothing but rituals that keep artificial energy going. That's all it is. They doing sorcery, man. All of these acts that you be seeing taking place is all sorcery. That's all Kabala you're looking at. Racism, Kabala. Police brutality, Kabala. Coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie, Kabala. You know what I mean? Poverty, Kabala. Electronic racism, Kabala. All got to do with you not being able to get a loan because you so-called black, Kabala. Those are all Kabbalah, son. That's rituals you're looking at. Spells. Spells. What you're looking at, son. You know what I'm saying? That's what's taking place. And they need you to be the sacrificial lamb. They got this thing going on now with, what's her name? Jada, Pinkett, Will Smith. That's all spells. That's all spells. That's all it is. These people are spell casters. They cast the spells. That whole thing that they talking about never happened. It's not a distraction. It is a spell. Because who was Will Smith and Jada Pinkett looked upon as? They was looked upon as a so-called prominent black couple. You know, even though, you know, they got this dude with his kid out there wearing a dress and all this and all that. But it's like you always see the mother and father together. You know what I mean? This is all a spell. And the words that's being used. Entanglement in August. I need to pay attention to those words that's being emphasized on. Pay attention to the body gestures that's being demonstrated when they are saying these words. Pay attention to facial expressions, because the facial expressions is not what they feeling, is what they want you to vibrate so the spell could slip in. In other words, when they showing you a facial expression and you respond to that with, say, Will Smith sitting at the table crying, you responded to that facial expression. Damn, fam, I feel your pain. You just opened up a vortex in you for that vibration of entanglement with August to slip in. These people are casting spells, man. All spells are not spoken. Some spells are demonstrated by body action, body movement, or body language. You know what I mean? Or it could be shown from a sigil standpoint. You don't have to be invoking a spell vocally. You know what I mean? There's more than one way to communicate. And speaking an audible tone is not the only way. These people are casting a spell. That's what they got to do. And it all plays in ties with this quote unquote coronavirus. You know what I mean? I did some mild research on it, and I already knew it was a spell, but I had to cross-reference the crux. I had to cross-reference the crucifix. You know what I mean? So, just pay attention, man. That's all I got to say. Pay attention. Because it's about to go down. And when I say it's about to go down, it ain't in some so-called negative way. It's in a way that reflects results. Because there is no negative or no positive. It's just results. That's all it has ever been, was results. The people who caught up in the positive and negative, they are locked in a perceptional frequency, which was created by the beast, which is a form of mind control. If you have a perception, that is a clear expression that the mind control worked. It worked. You know what I mean? You're supposed to go beyond perceptions. Beyond. We beings of beyond. You know what I mean? We ain't getting locked in frequencies that was created. You know what I mean? Straight up. I stated before, if you're going to get locked in a frequency, it should be a frequency of you constantly upgrading. Get locked in that. That should be the only frequency you get locked in. One that represents you constantly evolving. Not constantly rotating with a belief. Not constantly rotating with a feeling. Not constantly rotating saying, damn, why is it I always get myself in these kind of relationships? Not constantly getting caught up in a rotation of, damn, why is it that I can't stop smoking cigarettes? Damn, why is it that I can't stop drinking? Damn, why is it that I can't go exercise? Damn, why is it I can't eat real food? Damn, why am I keep experiencing this all over? Because you have a perception, and that's what perception does. Perception keeps you in a rotation. Perception doesn't take you out of the rotation. It is made to keep you in the Ouroboros. All perceptions. I don't give a damn which one it is. They all keep them locked in a vibration, a specific way of thinking. That's what perception does. It keeps you locked in a way of thinking, keeps you in the loop. You know what I mean? Straight up. We beings of beyond, the soul beings, we, the real beings. I ain't talking about the humans, we're talking about the carbonated beings. You know what I mean? Yeah, entanglement. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Pay attention, man. Those are the spells, man. Like I stated before, what's going on right now, this is like, you remember when they was talking about that 2012? This is like the 2012 shit. They were talking about some, I mean, it's always a way out for the guard race. You ain't got to wait for no planets to align. But what's being orchestrated right here, it's like a bridge. It's created for those to get out of certain perceptions they was once locked in. You know what I mean? It's a bridge that was created, son. You know what I mean? But it's like you have it where a lot of people made it to Noah's Ark, but then you got other people right now who got caught up in the George Floyd theatrical event. You got people that got caught up in that, so they back up in the black. A Black Lives Matter movement where 99.9% of the people that's marching as humans something should click. That's the glitch you're looking at. That is the glitch. I spoke about the glitch. And you see things speaking a language that just don't look right. Black Lives Matter movement, but so many humans over here. They're trying to reprogram the black in you. You know what I mean? They're trying to reprogram the black in you. Reprogramming you to be black. Because a bunch of carbonated beings was waking up out of that black crap. Man, I ain't black. You know what I mean? But how do they always recapture you in the perception? Feelings. It was foul. They've been running the I Can't Breathe ritual for damn near 10 years. And y'all still didn't see with the George Floyd that was staged. From this dude, what was his name? Eric Garner getting choked out. He had the damn purple shirt on representing the quote unquote crown chakra for you spiritual folks out there. You know what I'm saying? Choking your energy to reach the ascension or raising the kundalini. You know what I'm saying? Cops perform rituals. They do not exercise or uphold the law. You got to get that perception out of your head. They do not uphold the law. They cast spells. All so-called laws that's created by the beast are spells. They are all spells. Every single last, all crimes is spells. As I stated before, they talk about all crimes are commercial. No, they are all engineered to keep you in an entanglement. You know what I mean? They all engineered. It's all engineered and they all spells. Because in order for someone to commit crime, they have to be under a perceptional influence. They have to accept a certain perception in order for you to commit a crime. A so-called crime. Which is results that the mind control work. When you so-called commit a crime, that is showing results that the mind control worked. The spell worked. The Kabala worked. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they role play it, make it look like you committed a crime and they put you in jail and all that, which ain't nothing but a cube. You know what I mean? Cube entraps light. A cube is like a prison for light. You know what I mean? The bar symbolizes the rays, or the vibration, or the Masonic pillars. You know what I mean? They put you in the square because you ain't want to stand on the square. So now they put the square on top of you, which makes you beneath the square. You off your square. And another thing with these gangbangs is that not snitching. That's a Masonic code. That whole not snitching stuff, that all got to do with Masons not leaking secrets. You know what I mean? They got to do with the Masons. They ain't got nothing to do with how these gangbangers say we got a code that we don't snitch. You ain't a Mason. A real Mason. That's something for a secret society, and secret got to do with secrete or sorcery. A society that exercises sorcery. They don't leak the secrets of the sorcery. It's not about leaking the secrets of who's affiliated with this and who's affiliated with that. It's about the secrets of the sorcery, the enchantments, the codes, the spells. You do not leak the spells because the spells could be used against them. And you can see the effects of the spells, from the mask wearing to the Black Lives Matter signs to people assuming that Bin Laden flew 2 planes in the Twin Towers. The spells, the spells, the spells. You know what I mean? Straight up. So it's about raising the vibe. You know what I mean? But that's all spells. I was looking at this joint on Netflix, that Hannibal joint. And if it's just something I spoke about, I already broke it down. I ain't got to go into the episodes and all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't titled the video Hannibal and all that, but it's in one of those recent videos where I spoke about who he really is and who these psychiatrists and these therapists really is. You know what I'm saying? And what their agenda is. But if you take a look at this guy and you see the role that they have him play, and you see all of his menus that he create when he's cooking these foods, even though he's using the organs of his victims, you know what I mean? They showed you in many scenes that all of the dishes, from the beverages and all that he was creating, was ornaments of sorcery. The beverages he would be making would be elixirs. And the foods that he would be making would be an enchanted spell in a food form. Same way how I was talking about how the beasts make weaponry in the food form with the GMO Agent Orange and all that. You know what I mean? These foods is like a combination of spells. So he's showing you in the Hannibal joint that they create elixirs out of these herbs and fruits and veggies and all that stuff. These chemicals. You know what I mean? They create, come on, bro. They create spells out of that. They create spells out of it. You know what I mean? It's meant to seduce the people because notice that when he offered these peoples this offering, which is the food, they come through, they eat the dinner, they about to drink the beverage and all that. That's the offering. They looking at it as he invited them to dinner. No, he invited you to be sacrificed. You accept the invitation, which is the first phase that has a series of phases in it for you to be sacrificed. Now it's like you there now, sitting there, you talking. He brings in the hors d'oeuvres and the food, the main course and the beverages. You sit there and you eat the food and you drink the drinks. So now is basically taking on to phase 2 of the sacrifice, which is to consume the way how you're going to be sacrificed. Because anytime he kills somebody in that Hannibal joint, he demonstrates the body in a sigil. They want to call it art. But he sigilly mark these vessels to show what deity or what food. Because the food could be a anthropomorphized archon or deity or God. So the execution presentation, as far as how these people are being murdered and how they're being exemplified when they murdered, that is a representation of the food and the sacrifice that they agreed to. They looking at it as if he's some versatile killer, some sick killer. No, all of that is strategically planned. You know what I mean? That's all strategically planned, down to the food. He has to get you to consume a certain kind of food, a certain human organ, or drink a certain beverage in order for you to accept the sacrifice. You know what I mean? Because it's like mercy. They have this theme going around right now, mercy. They have it in the video games. They have it in the movies. They always say this word mercy, or they have characters known as mercy, or they have people holding up signs protesting saying mercy, because that's the theme. That's the offering, son. You know what I'm saying? In fact, when the humans sacrifice carbonated beings, that's how they get forgiveness. That's how they get forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Because a sacrifice, or somebody who is a willing sacrifice, chose to absorb all of the quote unquote sins of that person or species who's doing the sacrifice. In other words, you can look at it, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a character who was created to be sacrificed, to absorb all of the sins of the human species. So in other words, they are being forgiven. And I already spoke about what forgiving really is. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at credit, give you something in the future and all that, but they're using this this deity, this archon, as a means to offset karma, because he was the willing sacrifice. He agreed to it. Now they have it where you could consciously agree to be sacrificed, or you could unconsciously agree to be sacrificed by way of subliminal participation. You could be participating in certain rituals. For instance, you sitting up there, you was raised around a bunch of people that smoke cigarettes. So now you smoking cigarettes. So now it's like you agreed to be sacrificed by way of cancer. You agreed to that offering. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the person or the people who created the tobacco cigarettes, they would not be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because the sins that they are creating, the sins that they are performing, or the sins that those people who created the tobacco industry, the sins that they doing, is being offset by you accepting to be taken out by way of the offering, which has to do with the cigarette and the cancer. You accepted to cleanse them. That's the kind of Kabbalah sorcery that's being taken place on this planet. When you die by any disease from eating any kind of food, whatever manufacturer created that food, like they will talk about the Illuminati and this group over here and they eating babies and doing all this wild stuff, they're not going to be held accountable for none of that. Because you, the people, agreed to offset their sins by way of being sacrificed because you participating in their rituals. So that's what they're showing you in Hannibal. When you look at Hannibal on Netflix, they showing you that this dude Hannibal is being exempt because people is accepting the offering to be sacrificed in order to cleanse his whatever the hell he's doing, killing the people and eating them and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a cleanse ritual. It's a form of a cleansing. It's a cleansing on a different level where they manipulate you to offer yourself up, just like the whole Jesus Christ theme. They manipulated, you know, this character was based on manipulation to die for people who stoned him. Now those people who stoned him will be forgiven. All the people that so-called did sins will be forgiven because this guy, they never even met him. But because this guy died for them, they all good. That's the rituals they doing on the so-called black people. When you see police brutality, when you see them dying by going to these dialysis machines, or they're being died by cancer, heart failure, arteries, whatever disease that they got, they accepted that sacrifice because the foods that they eat is rituals that summon that demon. All of the foods that you eat is rituals that summon the demon. You see how I said before, not all rituals are spoken. Some rituals could be performed. That's why I say pay attention to body language. Or some rituals could be shown with a sigil. And when you eating, that's a performance that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So when you eating McDonald's and you get a disease from eating McDonald's, you accepted to be sacrificed by way of that demon who undergoes the sacrificial order of McDonald's. But the people who created McDonald's, they're not going to be held accountable because you unconsciously agreed to offset their karma. In other words, you signed up to take their karma. That's why you're having a horrible death. You looking at it like, damn, I ain't really do that much foul-ish in my life like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't foul like that. How the hell I'm going out like this? There's people out there who do way worse than me that ain't even going out like this. That's because you agreed to be the flak jacket. You agreed to be the flak jacket. And your agreement is within your habits. The foods you eat, the perception you have. You agreed. So when you see carbonated beans being slaughtered by the beasts, they agreed. They gangbangers, they agreed. You eat fake food, you agreed. You sell drugs, you agreed. You rape, you rob, you murder. Those are rituals that has to do with you agreeing to be sacrificed. This is Kabbalah on another level. You know what I mean? That's why I say these people would never see it coming. They would never see it coming because it would be so heavily intertwined in their lives that they would never see it coming. Look in the mirror. You are the results. You're the results of all you categorize as problems. You know what I mean? You are the ones who create the problems. You create it. You creating the energy, or you keeping the energy going. Problems is chaos. You creating the chaos, or you keeping the chaos going. You agreed to be sacrificed. You just don't understand. You just don't understand. That's how you unconsciously agree. You think you just eating something that tastes good. Just like the people in Hannibal. They sitting at his table. They think they eating some red meat. Wow, this meat is so delicious. Hannibal like, yeah, I got a specialized butcher that I oversee all the butchering, and I make sure that all the organs is fresh, and the organs have to be cooked right away. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you he's the archon of the slaughter. Tell you he oversees the butcher. He oversees the sacrifice. Hannibal is the archon. And the people who come to his crib to eat, they the minions. They all the minions. They are the willing sacrifice. They don't understand how the game is being played because, as I stated before, these people assume that the psychologists, the therapists and all that, they trying to get up in their head. They don't even know that before, as soon as you made the decision to go see them, they're already in your head. They already in your head. But you go in there to see them with the thought pre-programmed in your head. I know this dude is gonna try to get in my head. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they keep at the frontal lobe. That he's just trying to get in my head. But you don't know that he was already in your head from the moment you made the decision to go see him. And when you went to go see him, as soon as you stepped into his quarters, you're inside of his mind. That's why when you walk inside his room or his office, nothing in there looks familiar. Nothing in there looks familiar. You see, like in Hannibal, you see certain paintings he got, certain relics he got, ornaments he got. The way he got the whole thing set up is different from everybody else's spot. You just walked into his mind. Now it's like Saw. It's like the movie Saw. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. You in my mind, but every now and then I will show you things to make you feel like you in control. But the reality is, you were summoned here to be sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? You were summoned here to be sacrificed. They are the offering. And when someone, you could even look at it like in the movies. You could look at it like in the movies where you have a scene set up in the movies where it could be a quote unquote hero, and then they would have like a sidekick. And then they could get a certain portion in the movie where it's like a building is about to blow up and only one of them have to stay. Only one of them could go, and one have to stay to defuse the bomb. They both can't stay because by the time the dude get there to try to defuse the bomb, he's only going to have a certain amount of time to get up out of there, son. You know what I'm saying? Before whole shit go haywire. So they would have it where this dude sitting up there, he trying to get out, while this dude trying to defuse the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't defusing the bomb, but it's gonna blow up. Or you could even look at it as a building gonna blow up and ain't nobody defusing nothing. But there's only one escape pod. There's only one means of transportation. And there's only room for one. And you got the hero, the so-called hero, and the so-called sidekick. And they'll be like, one of us gotta go. And the hero will be like, you go. Another guy will be like, no, you go, you go. Like, no, I'm not having it, you gotta go. And the sidekick might knock the hero out and throw him in a damn pod and push the button so he can get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? A few moments later, the hero wake up, look back, and see his homie looking through the glass, and the whole building blow up. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is an example of the sidekick, because that's what the sidekick is. The sidekick is a pending sacrifice. All sidekicks are pending sacrifice. That's why you always hear about these artists, close friends, being killed, being murdered, because the artist would be like a Batman and their close friend would be like a Robin. They are a pending sacrifice. They are there to absorb the frequency of death that would normally hit this artist or the so-called hero, you know what I'm saying, offset it so that they could go on. So you see that theme being played out all the time in movies. So when you're looking at cops killing so-called black people, that's exactly what it is. It's a ritual. It's a mercy ritual, son. It's a mercy ritual. That's how the humans get forgiveness. I know that sounds odd, but that's what it is. It's all a program. It's all a simulation. You know what I mean? Whenever you see these cops killing so-called black people, it is a ritual to offset the karma of the quote-unquote elites. These people accept it. They have been marked. Once you adopt the habits of the matrix and identify the habits of the matrix as your own, you now have the mark of the beast. And when you have the mark of the beast, you are the willing sacrifice. Your Jesus Christ was the mark of the beast because he was the willing sacrifice. Anybody that is a willing sacrifice, they are or they have the mark of the beast, and they offset the karma. They offset in it, son. Straight up. It's Kabala on another level, B. On another level. You know what I mean? So just know this. Just know this. It's an offering and acceptance. 99.9% of the humans or the participants in the Black Lives Matter movement is humans. They begging for forgiveness. They're not participating in it because they really want it to stop. They are participating in it because they begging for forgiveness. Now the people who lead those groups, they know what time it is because they got ties with the people who organize those protests. But the spectators, they are also the willing because they get caught up in it. You know what I mean? They get caught up in it. Straight up. But that's how they, in other words, G is being accepted because you could even look and see how it plays out. How long carbonated beans been getting violated by the humans. From the coolest monkey in the jungle, go back to Emmett Till, people getting hung on trees, people getting burnt, KKK with their cross. They doing all this madness. And all these people got to do is say, I'm sorry. And what happens? You know, you'll get like one day. We forgive you. See? So it's a forgiving ritual, man. When they kill you, it's an apology. It's an apology. It's an offering that the person willing to accept. A sacrifice. You know what I mean? Watch those. Go watch Hannibal on Netflix and watch those sequences or those pre-sacrificial rituals. Watch those scenes with soul vision, and you will see what it is. Don't look at it as these people just come in there just to eat, because he's being nice. You know what I mean? Ain't got nothing to do with that. You gotta see it for what it is, bro. And that's what they doing to the some members of the guard race. But you know, a lot of these clones, you already know how them clones do. Clones gonna do what clones do, which is nothing but Coptic. All they gonna do is copy. But yeah, that's what that Hannibal, that as far as that scene is. But you already know his personality is all having you exist in his mind, because he would be the ruler. He would be the ruler to receive some kind of therapeutic treatment to make you better, but you actually did to be sacrificed. You know what I mean? The willing sacrifice. Straight up. I'm about to shut this live down. I already know what it is. Getting this walkabout. This speed walkabout. Getting them legs up. Leg day, a day. I mean, a day's leg day. Plus videos. Got a hell of a catalog, man. Hell of a catalog. Know what I mean? I was doing multiple videos a day. Started slowing down. There's enough videos in there to bring anybody up to solar speed. The hell with light speed. Solar etheric speed. You know what I mean? Which is beyond speed, beyond light speed. But raise the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe. I'll drink some water. Mouth getting dry about this mug. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all here getting this miles and miles and miles of walking. Y'all see how long I've been walking, man. This joint say an hour and 45 minutes and 27 seconds been on live. I was walking before I came on live. Man, you could throw 2 hours on this, huh? 2 hours of speed walking. Empty stomach. Man. That's how you do it, bro. But yo, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Raise the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe, man. I already know what it is. Out here in the park, cuz got people over there getting their little barbecue on. You know, they form a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Those animals who ate the crops at the farm. In the animal's mind, the animal was like, oh wow, I'm being fed all this food. Oh goody tushy. Wow. I'm being fed all this food by the farmer who's the overseer, the archon, like Hannibal. He invited the animals into his farm, you know. But he kidnapped them by force. But the mental therapists, they would kidnap you by way of persuasion. You know what I'm saying? They do it very casual and persuade you to kidnap yourself there. You know what I'm saying? By getting in your head, making you assume that you need them to survive or think better. Because if you ain't got your own pineal gland that could connect directly to the higher gods, it would make more sense if carbonated beings was not born with a pineal gland, and then you had a baby that was born with one. Then you could be like, wow, this baby right here is the prophet, because this baby right here got the pineal gland, and ain't nobody over here got the pineal gland. So we know that this baby right here is gonna have the direct connection with the higher gods, and we just gonna be studying up under this baby when the baby hit older and all that. You know what I'm saying? The family gonna pass down the religions, show the baby how to work the gland, and then the baby just gonna grow up and just be teaching everybody. It will make sense if that was the case. But all carbonated beings got pineal glands, and that is an antenna to connect to the etheric realms. So the reality is, the choice is yours. It's yours. I can't wake you up. Nobody can wake you up. You gotta wake your goddamn self up. For real. Not when you get up out of bed talking about you woke. You still sleepwalking. Somebody had asked me about sleepwalking. When you see people out here believing, they sleepwalking. You think sleeping have to do with you laying in the bed with your eyes closed? No. Sleeping is when your pineal gland eye is closed. You could be walking about, cooking, driving a car, flying a plane. You could be a boxer fighting somebody. You could be athletic. You know what I'm saying? You could hold a conversation. That don't mean that you awake. Your pineal gland is closed. So when you're looking at these people out here, they are sleepwalking. They all sleepwalking out here, son. Anybody who believes or anybody who uses feelings to identify anything in its totality, they are sleepwalking. They are asleep, because there's different stages or levels of being asleep. You sleeping in the bed with your eyes closed, that's one description of being asleep. You know what I mean? You ever hear about somebody having a dream, and then in a dream they woke up out of sleeping and they thought that they was woke up but they were still sleeping? So it's like you having a dream within a dream. You in the dream sleeping, then you having a dream that you woke up, but you really still dreaming. You're like, damn, I was having a dream that I was dreaming. Yes. Sleepwalking while they sleeping. All the humans are sleepwalking. And unfortunately, members of the guard race got caught up in the sleep. You know what I mean? So your pineal gland got to be online for real. You're not a prisoner to positive and negative polarities if your pineal gland is vibrating. You know what I mean? If you're a prisoner to positive and negative polarities, your pineal gland is asleep. But you got you have the ability to have a mono-e-mono connection, solar connection. You don't need an interpreter. You don't need an interpreter, son. Yes, we could take advice from people, because we are the gods is only activated when we come together. We only really activated when we come together. You know what I mean? You're not activated when you're separated. You know what I'm saying? But you have the ability to connect for self. You don't need to be amongst a group of people to connect to the higher gods. You don't need that. You know what I mean? It could help, but you don't need it. But you got to be on the path for real. And if you have the ability to connect to the higher gods individually, you already on a path to linking up with more gods. Because this ain't about being an individual. You know what I mean? It's about recognizing that you are a piece of a God puzzle. You are a piece of a solar system. You are one sun that needs to connect with more suns so y'all could be that great solar system. A real solar system, not this fake solar system they got out here where you got this one sun and then you got all these different moons. You know what I mean? You got all these different moons out here. You know what I mean? A real solar system is in the etheric realms, where all the celestial bodies are suns. There's no moons in the etheric realms. In fact, in the etheric realms, there is no nighttime. You see how space is like when the sun, quote unquote, goes down and you look out into space and you see darkness in the etheric realms, it's all illuminated. There is no darkness. Space is illuminated in the etheric realms. All the celestial bodies are suns. There are no moons. There's no spirits there. There's only souls. That's the realm of the real dimensions. Down here in this universe, this is the Coptic space. This is a Coptic space. A space that was built on copies. This universe is artificial. The energy in it is artificial. You know what I mean? But yo, about to get it by him. I already know what it is, man. Go my way and drive and fly. I'm out.